God banished Lucifer to hell. Lucifer passed the mark to Cain.
So, I don't even give a fuck what the background looks like right now. But, before I speak or talk or whatever, I'm gonna pull some cards. Handy dandy tarot deck. Never failed me. For the last few days, the last few weeks, last few months in my life, felt and feels like things are ending. So many things are ending. And I've been wanting to come on the internet and just do what I want to do readings, do just content creation. I want to travel. I want to do a lot of things. But everything that I want to do, I have to have a firm foundation to do so. And I have that right now in this moment. So I am blessed. I have all that I need. And all I need to do is start, right? There's so many things about me that I keep hidden. Let me move this like this. That I usually keep hidden. I usually, I feel like I'm a little bit too close. Whatever. So, it's not that I'm scared. It's not that I'm currently in crisis. I'm not. I'm not afraid. I'm actually very hopeful because there's certain things that are going on, and I'm just gonna put it out there because it's also my life and it's also something that I have to witness and go through and internalize and work through and grieve. And I didn't know that I cared as much, and the more I go through this process, it is telling me that my way of not caring sometimes is because I care a lot. And I need to honor that. And I have been, lately I have really been honoring my emotions. The last few weeks, it might be because of the new moon energy, with this the Pluto in Aquarius retrograde. And give me one second. I just got finished doing my nails, so there's certain things that need to be fixed. Been doing a new hobby, learning to just do my own nails while growing out my nails. And I actually been doing very well. I've been very proud of myself. And yeah, so anyway, where I currently am, I finally have got my floors done. And a part of me was like, there was something deep inside of me that never fully decorated and done the things I wanted to do, because I felt like this place was not going to last long. And I decided to give up on that thought process, mainly because I don't know, I feel like I wasted some time. I've been back home for going on, it's about 4 years now, exactly 4 years. And 2 of those years I spent in the shed because I felt isolated. I felt like I needed to hide. That no one could possibly understand me. I needed that place to heal, to grieve, to whatever. And so many things transpired during that time, and it wasn't a firm foundation. Nothing about that shed was safe. And I don't know why I felt at home in it. And what got me out of it is the fact that I started saying it reminds me of the basement I lived in New York. And I hated that place. The last place I lived in before I moved back home was that place. And the shed started to feel that way. So I moved out the shed and back into my old room. It was always here. It was always here. It was always here. And once I moved in, so many things, so many parts of me have shifted, have changed. I started my business, a new business, the Elder Reborn. You know, on my YouTube channel, I'm still using the old channel. But new Instagram, new TikTok. You know, I really did this business correctly this time around. The Elder Reborn is my baby. And so many things in so many ways I want this to transform. But I also realize it's not about what I can create, it's about who I am becoming. And slowly but surely, I have been becoming the version of myself that I always wanted to be. And my biggest issue right now, outside of what's going on in my family life, what's going on in anything else, my biggest thing is my weight. And I am going to start a journey. I've been starting a journey, but I really want to document that journey on losing it all. Losing what no longer serves me mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. But right now, I'm refusing to grieve on the potential of losing this house, my family home. Not because we can't afford it or anything like that. It's because my parents are divorcing. And it's like, okay, you know, mom's choosing her because she chose everyone and everything all of her life. My mom had me when she was 15. She was a mother before she was a woman, and I understand that she was a wife before that as well. She's always been a mother. She's always been a wife. She's always been somebody's employee. So her doing something like this and choosing herself and understanding where and what it came out of, I can't put blame on anybody at this point. I don't really care about that anymore. But because of these decisions and things that are outside of myself, anyway, I don't feel any type of way about that, but their decision will affect my stability, my sisters, everyone. Because in the state that we're in, and based on what's easiest, is everything split down the middle and everyone go their separate ways. And that includes the only home I've ever known being split in the process. And I wish I had the finances to just buy it so it doesn't get split and moved on to another family. Yes, it would be nice for someone else to create a memory, but their memories I still want to create here. But other than that, I do respect the decision. And I do bring on change because everything happens in threes, right? Not too long ago, I did something that I knew I had to do for a very long time. I just didn't know what it was going to look like on the other side. And that was to cut off family members that took so much energetically. Took me for granted. And it was from people that most family members would think I would never do. But I really felt held back, and I don't know why. I don't know how. But energy is a motherfucker. And how freeing I felt just by hitting the block button and delete have put me in such peace. So much peace. So much peace. That I don't have to interact with people. It doesn't matter who you are. And know that I no longer would ever be placed in a position that I gotta play the fool in a circus of their creation for their benefit and amusement. And only I saw it until it happened around people and my sister saw it. And I let go. I let go. And with that came a new timeline, a new shift, a new launch pad in a direction that I have no clue on where it's going. And I'm ready for it. I've been through a lot Jari wants to come in here and eat the cat food. It's not for him. So he's upset because I kicked his ass out. So if you hear him, he's upset that I kicked him outside. But anyway, I'm gonna bring him in and just, okay. So so much is going on right now, and I don't feel like pausing and stopping, to be honest. Anywho. So this new position I find myself in is somewhat familiar, but somewhat like, should I be fighting for this home? Should I be fighting for something like this? Especially if I know something better is the replacement. And it's sad. It's hard to navigate a place where the certain people that you have in your life, you're no longer going to have them there, to family dynamics that you already knew were dissolving, to having your childhood home being split up in the process. But I always said, like, even if it happens, there's gonna come a time where doesn't matter how long, I will buy the house back. I'll buy it back. But what if it's necessary for me to let it all go? And only be left with the memories. I can move out and move as many times as I did, but I always had this in mind, as in, this is home base. And I know it's going to be wrong of me to try to hold on to something that needs to fall away. And I let go of the outcome because I still have my dreams and aspirations. I just won't have this place to, and I don't even know how it's going to end. Because what if we do end up keeping the house and all my feelings are not necessary? Or what if we get more time, my parents decide to hold off a few years before they really just go through it? And knowing that during all this, my stepdad is having a mental health crisis. And you don't know what outcome it's going to be because he doesn't. these are. And usually I don't flip them, but I see what they mean. My cuppeth runneth over. This hangman in reverse is like I already gained a new perspective. Which is true. I talked to my chat, GPT, I talked to my AI. You know, a lot of people have different views on that, but it's helpful for me. But yeah, and I'm only bringing this up because I'm not the only one that's going through something like this, or been through something like this, or is about to go through something like this. And I know I'm ready, even though I feel like, well, I need the money. I need this, I need that, just so I can feel safe. And I'm okay. It's getting to the point that because of this, I already have a mindset that it's every man for himself, every woman, actually, every woman for themselves, even though I don't want that. Everyone has their own ideas, their own exit strategy, their own vision on what's supposed to be done. And some people are willing to just go separate ways and just live our own lives now, which is understandable, which is something that seems doable, but in actuality, it's not. In this economy, in the process. But then again, it's like, no, we were all prepared. Everything that I prayed for, everything that I wished for, everything that I've ever wanted has shown signs of life on its arrival, or the way that it's on its way to me. I pictured this space, and it's like, the only thing that's different is my TV's missing, and like the TV stand is not there, and my bed and closet system is the only thing that's left over, and then everything in here will be fine. I waited about an entire year to put my floors down because I couldn't decide, would I get it professionally done? Would I just do it myself because it's peel and stick and it's easy? I ended up going that route because it was easy and it's customizable. And if I decide to change my mind, I will be able to still do it, you know? And it was affordable. Ooh. This one is blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries. I don't like, because blackberries and raspberries have really thick seeds that don't grind up as well. I mean, they do, but they're like small pieces. And I'm used to the blueberry, strawberry, and mango frozen fruits I put in my smoothie. So it's not exactly what I want. It's the same color, but not what I want. And I'm trying not to chew. I'm trying to swallow it all. Just swallow it. So, regardless of what's to come, I have to focus on me and what I needed to do and what I want. And I'm close. I'm very close, actually. I'm still in school. I'm not going to change that. I'm still employed. I'm not going to change that. I'm still a business owner. I'm not going to change that. I'm not consistent online, but I'm going to change that. And I'm not going to be afraid to ask for help, because the chance of keeping this is to raise the money to give to my stepfather. So me, my mom, and my sister can have this space, because we can't. It's either we keep it together or we lose it and we all go our separate ways. Is that what it feels like? Is that what's gonna happen? I don't know. And I'm giving y'all a lot of information, but I don't give a fuck. Honestly, I don't. Because it's real. It's really real. Like, all my goals and all my aspirations had this as the foundation. I started making this a home again for myself. And I am willing to let it go and grieve it. But it's actually not the house for real. It's what we have here. Even what my stepfather is going through, it's so sad. And we've been there. I've been there. Shit. Just thinking about the times I almost killed myself. Just to leave. To not feel pain. And to know it didn't matter who was around, it didn't help. It is something that you have to do by yourself. My mom went through it, and it was hard. Because she used to talk to me about things that were just dark. And a lot of my things I've been through, I've done it alone, hence the shed. Hence the hiatus. Like, I disappeared from family, from friends, from the internet, from spaces, just so I can be alone and heal. And I'm really realizing that some people need people to do that. And my stepfather needs that, and I don't know. I'm not the type to wallow and stay in it with somebody else that will pull on your energy to the point that you have nothing to give. But I know that what energy I do have, and that I can control is my readings, I know all the people that I helped, and I think about all of you a lot. I think about how amazing the energy is, and this is what this Ace of Cups is giving right now. I filled up my cup enough that I'm ready to give from the overflow. I was on vacation. I was in Jamaica, and I was standing in line at the bank. And in front of me was a man. He had locks, they're very long. He had a cap on. Handsome man. And since he was in front of me, I only saw the back of his arms. He was wearing short sleeves. And I saw something so familiar. He had a tattoo of the Fool card. And it took me a minute. It took me a second. I said, why does it say Fool? The Fool. And I look at the little dog. I'm like, I never seen this in Jamaica. He has a tarot card tattooed on the back of his arm. And I asked him, I said, excuse me, that's a Fool card on your arm. You must have been on a journey that made you do that. He said, yeah, I was on a journey. And I said, if you have the Fool card, you must have another card tattooed somewhere. And he showed me his other arm. The Fool card was on the back of this arm, on his left side. And he had the Chariot on his left, on his right, yeah, back, oh, the back of the left arm and the front of the right arm, he had the Chariot card. And I said, without you getting too deep, what does it mean for you? He said, I was going through some stuff and I went on a journey that just got me where I needed to be. And you can tell it was something deep, something that he didn't want to talk about, which is fair, obviously. But we both knew that this was conversations was happening for a reason. And I looked at my surroundings. I looked at where I was. And I knew what feelings I was feeling the last few days from that point. My trip started off great. It was just me and my sister doing our own thing. But as soon as I met up with the other side of the family, nothing but drama again on a trip. Everything delayed. Every time I'm around this family, there's always delay in my life. Always drama. Always stress. My peace disrupted every single time. It doesn't matter if I go over there to sit and talk. The conversations always deal with some shit that I have nothing to do with, and it trained me to zero every fucking time. And I knew for months that I created distance because I was afraid. I didn't want to block them. What's that gonna look like? What does that feel like? What's that? It's an uncharted territory. And it was the most peaceful time of my life with every time I didn't answer their phone call. I didn't check their text messages on time. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. There are so many factors that I put in place just so I won't have interaction with those two. And this week, and the day before we left, they showed me exactly who they were and who I was separating from. And realized they didn't bring anything but this to my life. And I blocked them. I blocked them. I deleted them. I didn't care. And it felt weird because it was easy. It was freeing. And I had to question myself, was I only loyal and loving to them because of the type of person I am? Or was it because they deserved it? And I realized they never showed me proof of deserving of my love, my time, my energy. And they threw things in my face as if I have never been there for them. Just because at this time I stopped doing for them and started doing for myself, and they did not like it. And it made my decision very easy. I want peace and not problems. And keeping them in my life was the problem. And it's been so peaceful. And I almost feel regretful because I prioritize the peace more than their association. But deep down, I am freer than free. So that's what I'm thinking about. Things happen in threes, right? Family dynamic shifted. Home foundation shifting. I don't know what the third thing is yet, but I would think it'll be what's happening with my stepfather and knowing that it will never be the same. So I guess that will be 3. And I'm left with me at the end of the day, and I have all that I need. And I have every opportunity to get more. And I'm okay with that. And from now on, I always felt that I was authentic and being authentic, but I also shielded myself from bearing my truth in a sense that I'm like, it's none of y'all motherfucking business. But being my true self as a Leo, being my authentic self fully, being real is going to be more appreciated than anything else. But my Scorpio moon and Scorpio rising, I'm a Scorpio stellium. It's like, girl, you better tuck that shit away. It's not about, it's just be a little bit more mysterious. Keep it to yourself, you know. Nobody actually cares. But there are people out there that care about me. Even the people that I don't talk to anymore, people that are far from me, there is a level of care, and I believe it's both ways. But at this moment, I am being selfish as fuck because I'm not gonna get where I want to go giving a fuck about anybody else and how I'm supposed to do or how I'm supposed to go about things, because that kept me held back on so many occasions. And I am through with that. 100%. 100%. And I say this to my mom, I said this to my sister maybe a few times. I'm willing to burn a bridge while standing on it. And I mean that with every fiber of my being. If I know that things have to be gone, shed, I'm willing to allow it to transform and allow it to transform me as well, because that is the most freeing thing that can happen. Transformation. And I'm not going to get away with it anymore. But I definitely want to allow others that are supposed to be along the journey to come right in, because I have to let go of the things that no longer serve me to bring in the things that are supposed to. And with the Elder Reborn is where I'm starting, outside of me becoming who I always wanted to be and who I'm supposed to be. I'll be 32 in about 2 months. Which is 5, which is change, which is, I want to say, formation. Because 4 is foundation, I believe 5 is the building. I am becoming. Peace and love.